Hi everybody, it's Expat Aviator here, and the start of a slightly new series of videos. I wanted to check out PilotEdge again, mostly because now I've moved to the US from sunny old England. My European license is not valid here, and I need to either get it validated by doing an exam and a few written exams, or I can just go the whole hog and convert to an FAA license, or ticket as they sometimes call it. So with that in mind, and towards learning some of the differences, I decided that I'd come back to PilotEdge and have another go at all of the PilotEdge ratings. I did some PilotEdge a couple of years ago now. I did the old V123 and then all of the instrument ratings up to 10. I never did I11. I just got bored and went on to other things. So they've now changed to a new CAT rating for the VFR flights, and there are many more of them, which is kind of good because it means we get a look at some of the VFR flights. So we're going to do the CAT-1 today. It's basically just giving you a start on PilotEdge, doing some talking on Unicom, and flying between Oceano and New Koyama. I'm not quite sure about the pronunciation, but hopefully that's going to be right. There's a bit to do, including filing a flight plan. There's some good information out here, and then I think after we land we need to go and do this CAT-1 claim form, so we'll come back to that. We're in the Lancair Legacy, November 29 Papa Mike. It should be Papa Hotel for my initials, but I told the painter the wrong words, and I ended up with Papa Mike. Never mind, that's fine. Fantastic aeroplane from A2A, sorry, not A2A, RealAir, of course, the RealAir Legacy, and a real shame that they actually no longer sell it. Seems very strange that they decided just to completely take it out of the store when they packed it in. Strange. Anyway, so let's have a look at the route. Oceano, there seems almost no airspace around, and we're going to be VFR today, and yeah, there's no airspace above. We're going to fly over this pretty big reservoir, should be a good indicator. We've got a mountain range to go off, which highest is 5,000 feet. So we'll probably just duck over the top of that when we get there and drop back down the other side, and then into New Koyama. I'm going to try and do it VFR as much as I can. I've got the winds at 4,500, which will cruise most of the leg at. So 26 degrees. So I'm guessing that's from 0 to 6, 12 knots. So it's going to be a bit of a crosswind. We're going to cruise at 180 because the little Legacy likes that. 47 miles, 17 minutes en route, plus maybe a little bit for the climb. So we might call it 18, and I'll have a stopwatch going on my desk. In the way of anything else to talk about along the route, there's really not much else to say. The wind right now is from the northwest, so we'll be departing out over the sea at Oceano, which will be runway 29, and it's left traffic, so we'll take off, make a left turn, and then leave sort of on the downwind leg, climbing to 4,500. New Koyama, I imagine the wind will be pretty much the same. It tends to be westerly in California. So let's have a look what runways they've got there. Okay, yeah, they've got runway 28 and it's left traffic. So that will be sort of downwind this way and then left. So we can join pretty much downwind and then straight in. All we have to do is make the calls on Unicom and submit for the rating. So let's have a go at the CAT-1. I'm going to do some of the things as a real PPL would. Though some of them I might skip some of the steps just because nobody really wants to see that on YouTube. So let's get going. The controls will actually work. It's good. Okay, probably don't need the panel lights on. Let's see. Nav lights can go on. Goes on. Good. Parking brake on. Mixture goes in. A little bit of throttle. No unexpected lights here. Canopy's open, which is the master caution. So, avionics on. Let's close the canopy. try our best not to use this. And I sometimes have a problem where the audio selector on here is actually reversed. You'd think one would be this, but it seems to be this, and vice versa. I've not worked out why that is. Look, pressure is 2989, and we're indicating almost sea level, which, according to the chart, looks about right. Let's just double check. Oceano, yeah, survey elevation is 14 feet, and New Kayama is 2,203 feet. So we got a bit of a climb to get up there. Let's set a few things in here, and we'll set 4, 5, sort of normal cruise. So we're going eastbound. Yeah, actually that's a good point. If we're going eastbound, it should be odd, plus 500. So let's do 5.5 today. And I need to update my flight plan to reflect that. Probably fail you. Valid level, which means we should clear that hill. Up. Okay, 5.5, and the heading is going to be. So magnetic heading will be about 84 degrees. So 6, 7, 8, 4 there. And we can have flight director on now, heading. Get this all set up. We don't have to put the autopilot on right away, but we can arm this. This little rocket ship will go up crazy. Right, that looks good. So the Unicom frequency here is 122.7, or 122.7 I should say. Okay. What I'm going to do is just tune Santa Maria 118.3 to make sure that I actually tune it here as well. Because what I don't want to be doing is flying along and not be transmitting on the frequency at all. Time we can do a few
Los Angeles
checks.
clearance, Skyhawk 991.
Yeah, okay, see this is using this radio.
957 Los Angeles clearance, go ahead.
Yeah, okay,
Well,
so
turns out
2
my
is
mic
this
was
one.
muted this whole time. Anyway, IFR to John Wayne for the I-6.
Sky 99157, cleared out of Los Angeles proper airspace. On departure flight heading 255. Maintain V4 out of below 3,000 till advised. Departure frequency 125.2. Walk 745.
Okay, so we're going to be runway 29. Check it this way. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to be taking off this way, which is out over the coast. I guess what we'll do is we'll go this way, we'll cross over the runway, and then we'll put a taxiway on the other side of this. So, flaps, pitot heat can wait, landing lights and everything else. Pretty simple aircraft really, there's not really much to remember. Let's get going. So, first call. Oceano traffic November 29 Papa Mike, we're Lancair Legacy, taxiing to runway 29. Pretty much all you need. I'm not sure we're going to hear anybody else, although there does seem to be flying up there. Somebody flying over there, whether he's one of the drones. Have someone smash into me as I cross. So wait for him here, I think. For this, I don't think there's enough runway there. Might as well do our power checks and things in the meantime. Probably wouldn't be a good idea if the brakes failed. Okay, that seems alright. So, trim. I think that would help, wouldn't it? Throttle fixture is fine. Mixture is fully rich. Mags on both. Testers on. Pitot. We'll switch to pitot heater when we get on the runway, and the pitot cover we know is removed. So mags, pitot primer, I don't think we have. Fuel is on and should be completely full. Yep, completely full. Flaps, we've got one stage set, and we can see that they're set. Instruments, we've set the altimeter, this is level, set the heading, and what have we got? 190. Yeah, and that looks about right. Carpeet's not fitted, hatches and harnesses will say are all secure, and the landing light will stick on as we get across the runway anyway. Oceano traffic, November 29 Papa Mike, crossing runway 29 Oceano. Probably should have had another look. Fortunately, my brakes are either on or off. Check the speed brakes. So we don't forget. Transponder on. Right, so checks are all done. See his lights there, but he's a little way out, so I think we're just going to go for it. Oceano traffic, November 29 Papa Mike, taking off runway 29, left traffic departing downwind to the east, Oceano. Okay, here we go. P's look good, airspeed's alive. Take much to get this in the air.
Terrain ahead, pull up. Terrain ahead,
Great.
pull up.
Gear and flaps.
Terrain ahead.
See, right, turn around. It's tempting to fly this like it's a jet fighter, it's so overpowered. 2.8 on the tail. Should be pretty much downwind. And quite a tight downwind, but there. Climbing nicely for now, so the airfield should be there. Yep, there's someone else taxiing out. So let's start the timer. On our heading, so I think followed on. Can be on. Go. Bit more power. Glitchy P3D. It's a black airport. Too bad. Okay, away we go. This one off so don't get confused. It can come off. Armour will be 2.9, which is just another Unicom. Which, yeah, it says it's Unicom, but for the wrong game. Few things you'll probably be doing if you were VFR in the real world is actually like weaving the nose a little bit to see that we're not climbing into anybody. It's amazing how complacent you can be in the sim for knowing that you're not going to die, whereas in the real world, you know, I'd probably be watching these engine instruments much more closely because we're climbing. I'd be looking out for traffic a lot more than I am. Possibly one of the dangers when you fly the sim a lot and then you go back to flying real aircraft is you can become complacent. Because, you know, so what if you don't see another aircraft? Doesn't really matter on the sim. The things like, you know, so what if you haven't checked the fuel cock in the sim? You do become really complacent. I think the sims are good and a bad thing. It's very good for IFR training, but perhaps a lot of VFR training not such a great idea. Traffic over there. TCAS. Leveling off at 5.5, we're looking for about 180 knots. Oh dear, that's no good. Out of the murk. Well, that's unfortunate. Descending in the clouds and minimum safe altitude around here is, yeah, it's 5,000 odd feet. We were VFR just a minute ago, so I'm not too worried right now, but I do want to be out of it. Class of airspace we're in right now, there are weather restrictions. Right, I'm not going to continue any more into what I can't see. So let's just turn around over this lake and keep the descent going. Autopilot's off. Slow down. I've absolutely had VFR flights like this. does happen. Visibility here is good enough for VFR. I'm pretty sure it needs to be about 3 miles. Yeah. Let's roll back onto the heading we wanted and see how this works out. Let's put the pilot can go back on. I was back up to 3.5. Well, we found the big lake, which is the Twitchell Reservoir. But that would have been crazy just pressing on. Yeah, there it is again. Right, so we know we're going to have to be down at more like 3. Stay out of that. Shame. Okay, down to 3. See how we get on. It's great until you get up into that murk. Still okay for now. That does not look okay. Only gets higher. See how we get on. As long as we can still see the ground and a little way in front of us, I'm not too worried. Speed back a little bit. Yeah, these hills in here. The other thing you can think, oh well, I could just go over this way, and you end up in a valley. It's too tight to turn around, and you can't climb because of the clouds, and then you really aren't. Switch over to the other frequency for now. So that little turn added 2 or 3 minutes to our estimated, so probably 20 minutes en route will be more realistic now. And looking at the chart, past the reservoir, and we're heading towards these hills, so it may be a case of going north to find the valley and then flying back down here. That might work. See that on here. Probably this. We definitely can't go that way, so let's try that. Let's head up this way. At the chart, this valley does look like it will lead us out, and I'm pretty confident of where we are. Again, simulator. Nothing bad is going to happen if we get it wrong. This is the ORBX Southern California region, looking pretty nice. I'd like to avoid punching in the direct to New Kayama in here if I can.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Okay.
Terrain ahead.
We'll not be going that way, and that was the plan. Merc. Still there. Temperatures and pressures all look good. Revs are a bit high, so let's just back those off. Better.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
So that's that point over there. Go.
Terrain ahead. Terrain
That
ahead.
way. If I can come out of this valley down here, I think the airfield is down there.
Terrain ahead.
get back on our original heading. We've only come a few miles off to the sort of north-northeast, so it should be fine.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Ah, yes, yes.
Terrain ahead. Terrain ahead.
Okay, shut up. Get back to the map. Cool. Right, I think that looks good. So back onto, say, our original heading, but perhaps right 10 degrees. See how that does. Should be good. Again, another detour, so I'm going to estimate more like 24, 25 minutes now. How long have we been in the air? 10 minutes. No. The airport. Where's that gone? Yep. No, the airport is in the valley, so we've cut through here somewhere, probably here, and then we're going to be in the valley. So if we come across some more hills, we know we've gone too far to the north. We should see this other peak. This will be the highest one around. So this side. So here's the valley. Here's more murk. A bit more. Well, this did not turn out quite as I planned. The airfield is at, say, 2,203 feet, so circuit height is going to be 3,200 feet. Let's just climb up a little bit. Hopefully we won't go into the clouds. Okay, it looks like we're tracking that northern edge of the valley. I think we're good though. Thing is, Nukayama Lima 88 probably not even in the database. GTN tend to not to have the smaller airfields. Now we had a real GTN in one of the aircraft I used to fly in England, and that didn't have some of the airfields in that we wanted to fly to, which was really, really annoying. Can program it in manually, putting the latitude and longitude in, but it's a real pain. Is it possible though? I think the Garmin have done a really nice job with these, the GTN 650 and 750. GPSs, I absolutely detest them. I just think they're awful to use, and it's the same problem with the G1000. Horrible to use, just never-ending cursors and pushing and pulling knobs and twisting dials. It's just really, really confusing. Strong dislike for them. When you compare the GNS units with something like Sky Demon or something like that, they're really, really terrible. Okay, a little bit slow. Just get a little bit more power on. We say we want to see that highest peak around. It's hard to see it in the murk. So following a road. Makes sense. Yeah, okay, so it does. This road, so I think we're up here somewhere. This road should lead us right past Kayama Airfield. Good. So let's keep the road visible. So it says that there's a refinery here, an oil refinery. I would imagine that has been modelled by ORBX. Another oil refinery here, so maybe we'll fly over that. Okay, speed 180 now, and we've been in the air for 14 minutes. Lots of little roads, but I think this is the main road, so let's stick with it. Airfield south of the road. As we expect, we're getting close. Let's make the first of the calls. Yokohama traffic at November 29 Papa Mike. Lancair Legacy around 6 or 7 miles to the west will be joining left downwind for runway 29. Question is that the airfield? I think it is. Perfect. So, was that oil refinery anywhere around? See one here. Slowing down. B. Yeah, I don't think it's modelled. That's a shame. Well, that's definitely the airfield, so autopilot out. We didn't turn the lights or anything off. We'll try and maintain 3,200. Yeah, we were closer than 6 or 7 miles actually. Okay, speed right back. Brakes out. Quite a long runway, parking at the end. Right, so we don't want to land too early. Brakes off, undercarriage is down, mixtures fully rich, mags, master, pitot primer, fuel is still on and plenty. Flaps we'll do in a second. Hatches and harnesses and landing lights on. And we set the carriage, so we should actually do it. Just there. Right, okay. Let's not get too close in. First stage of flaps, we're in the white arc.
500.
Goes up. Now, I believe it's normal to actually land this with the air brakes out. So that's what we'll do. Yaw dampers off. Yeah. Some of the aircraft, that autopilot, it keeps the yaw damper off even when the autopilot's not engaged. How are we doing? Okay, looking good. Yokohama, November 29 Papa Mike, final runway 29 Yokohama. Stage. Gonna make it now, we've got plenty of speed for an aircraft like this. Let's get the rest of the flaps in. Oh, really draggy. Okay. 80 knots, looking good. Way. And we're down. Fence there. LAX would be pleased. supposed to park. So that Cessna 2. Right. Good. Right. Avionics can go off. Keys and master. Right, well, we're here. So, according to the instructions, we need to sit on the ground for 2 minutes. So let's start another timer. The actual flight time was 21 minutes. So even with the detour, it was still about what we thought it was, which is interesting. Start another timer. And have a check of what we're supposed to do next. Go to PE Aware, search for course and identify the flight status. Okay. Welcome back. Okay, so it seems, even though I filed the flight plan through the PilotEdge software, it did not file it on the network for some reason, so I had to go back and do it on the website here and fly the flight again. Obviously this time I knew to dodge the clouds. So here is the flight. Okay, so let's see what we have to do. Verify the flight status of the flight has arrived. Enter your tail number into the CAT-1 claim form. Congratulations! You may now proceed to the CAT-2. Okay, let's have a look on the pilots. CAT-1. Cool. Okay, next video, CAT-2. Thanks for watching.